The Monday, March 30 episode of General Hospital presents a series of intense confrontations and emotional check-ins across Port Charles. At the hospital, Joselyn Jax pressures Dr. Britt Westbourne to use her medical access to sabotage the unconscious WSB director Ross Cullum in the ICU. Meanwhile, ADA Justine Turner arrives at Sonny Corinthos' home to question him without his lawyer present, expressing heavy doubts that Jason Morgan was the true shooter. At the PCPD, Giovanni Palmieri pays a supportive visit to a concussed Dante Falconeri, who remains completely unaware that his own son, Rocco, is the one who shot Cullum. Over at the Quartermain mansion, Olivia Quartermain offers a wary Michael Corinthos an apology regarding her recent judgment of his relationship with Jacinda Bracken. Finally, Brooke Lynn Quartermain and Harrison Chase face difficult questions from a social worker about their emotional readiness to foster and eventually relinquish baby Phoebe. Okay, professional recap over. Can we talk about this? I am literally losing my mind over what just happened on this show, and I need to vent because I have been watching this soap for years, and I cannot believe the sheer audacity of these characters right now. I mean, let's start with Joselyn Jax, because what is happening with her? Are we seriously watching Carly's daughter actively plot a cold-blooded murder in a hospital? Because that is exactly what she is doing. Joselyn is standing in Britt's office, looking her dead in the eye, and suggesting that Britt just casually stroll into the ICU and help things along a little with Ross Cullum. I am sorry, but since when did Joselyn become an actual mob boss? She is so casual about it. Hey Britt, you're a doctor. He's in a coma. Just slip something in his IV. No big deal. I am screaming at my television. And the craziest part is that Britt is actually considering it. But can you blame her? Britt has been pushed to the absolute brink by Cullum and Jen Sidwell. She is terrified. She is running out of her Huntington's medication, and Jason Morgan just got shipped off to some black site WSB prison because he took the fall for Rocco. Britt is desperate. But Joselyn? Joselyn is just ruthless. I know some people are loving this dark, pragmatic era of Joselyn, but personally, it terrifies me. She is fully embracing that Corinthos Jack Spencer DNA. She is telling Britt that she has never had a better chance to take Cullum out. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. If Cullum dies, Jason's entire sacrifice goes up in smoke. Jason confessed to shooting Cullum to protect Rocco. If Cullum suddenly flatlines from a mysterious potassium overdose in the ICU, the WSB is going to know Jason didn't do it, or worse, they're going to pin the murder on Jason as an orchestrated hit from the inside. Joselyn is not thinking this through. But maybe Joselyn isn't suggesting straight-up murder. Maybe she just wants Britt to stall his recovery. Keep him unconscious long enough for them to figure out a plan to get more doses of Britt's medicine to reverse engineer. But even that is insane. Britt is the chief of staff, or at least a highly visible doctor in this hospital. If she gets caught tampering with a federal agent's IV, she is going to federal prison right alongside Jason. Remember when Britt was on the run with her father, Caesar Faison? She has spent years trying to scrub that villainous stain off her reputation, and now Joselyn is basically telling her to channel her inner Faison. It is wild, it is stressful, and I am completely here for the drama, even if I am yelling at the screen the entire time. Okay, back to the point. Let's talk about Sonny and Justine Turner. Am I the only one who forgot how much sizzling chemistry these two have? Justine just shows up at Sonny's door, completely bypassing Rick Lansing and Diane Miller, and demands to ask him questions without his lawyer present, and Sonny just lets her in. I mean, we all know Sonny likes to live dangerously, and Justine literally threw that in his face. They had that one-night stand, they agreed it was a one-time deal, but the tension in that room is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Justine is not stupid. She knows Jason Morgan's actions do not add up. She knows Jason wouldn't just sloppily shoot a WSB director on Pier 55 and wait around to get arrested by Dante. Justine is fishing for information about Marco Rios' murder, and she knows Sonny is holding back. But Sonny is a vault right now. He is not going to breathe a word about Jason's original plan to take out Cullum before fleeing to Canada with Britt. Because if Sonny admits that Jason had motive and intent to kill Cullum, it cements the WSB's case against him. But Justine is pressing him, and she's using every ounce of their past physical connection to try and disarm him. It is a brilliant move on her part, but Sunny is too seasoned for that. Still, seeing Sunny squirm just a little bit under Justine's intense gaze is prime television. I just hope Sunny realizes how close the walls are closing in. Jen Sidwell is out for his blood, blaming him for Marco's death, and Sunny is completely exposed without Jason as his enforcer. And speaking of Jason's arrest, can we please talk about the absolute tragedy unfolding at the PCPD? Dante Falconeri is sitting in the commissioner's office nursing a concussion after Jason headbutted him, drowning in tough cases, and he has no idea that his own teenage son is the reason Jason is in federal custody. Rocco Falconeri shot Ross Cullum. Let that sink in. Rocco, sweet Rocco, grabbed a gun and shot a man in the back to save Jason's life, and Dante is sitting there investigating the crime, totally oblivious. It is Shakespearean levels of tragedy. Then Gio Palmieri walks in. Sweet, innocent Gio, just checking in on Dante. "I'm here to check on you," he says. It is such a pure, wholesome moment in the middle of all this darkness. Dante and Gio have come such a long way since the revelation that they are father and son. Dante really needed that moment of grace, but it also highlights the massive, ticking time bomb sitting in Lulu's house. Rocco is eating himself alive with guilt. Nathan West swore him to silence. Lulu knows the truth and is terrified, and Dante is just completely in the dark. How long can they keep this from him? Dante is a cop. He is going to notice that the trajectory of the bullet doesn't match where Jason was standing. He is going to notice that Jason's confession is full of holes. And when Dante finds out that Lulu and Nathan lied to his face to protect Rocco while letting Jason throw his life away, the fallout is going to be nuclear. I am dreading it, but I also cannot look away. Now, let's pivot to the absolute circus happening at the Quartermain mansion. I am sorry, but Olivia Quartermain owes Michael a lot more than just a simple apology in the kitchen. I have been watching this show since the 90s, and the sheer hypocrisy of the Quartermain family never ceases to amaze me. Olivia literally called a family meeting to put Michael on a morality witch trial because he is dating Jacinda Bracken, a former sex worker. She walked in on them naked at the gatehouse and acted like the world was ending. Are we seriously forgetting who Olivia Quartermain is? Are we forgetting her history? The woman has a child with Sonny Corinthos. She was entrenched in the Bensonhurst mob culture. And Tracy Quartermain sitting there judging Michael? Tracy was married to Anthony Zaccara, the mobster. The Quartermains have done so many shady, illegal, and immoral things over the decades, and they are clutching their pearls because Jacinda used to meet clients at the Metro Court? Please, give me a break. Michael was totally right to be wary of Olivia's apology. He stood his ground, and I was so proud of him. He fiercely defended Jacinda, basically telling his family that he will not tolerate any disrespect toward her. But Jacinda is fascinating to me. She isn't shrinking away from this. She told Christina that her past is just expensive luggage. She knows exactly how to read a room, and she is navigating this Quartermain dysfunction with so much grace. However, when little Wiley walks up and asks if Jacinda is Michael's new girlfriend, my heart melted a little bit. Michael has to balance his fierce protection of Jacinda with the reality of bringing her into his children's lives. Olivia made a fair point about being careful on the property, but she went about it in the most judgmental, obnoxious way possible. I am glad she apologized, but the tension is still there. Jacinda is a survivor, and she is going to have to prove herself to this family, which is completely unfair but makes for great soap opera drama. Finally, I need to mentally prepare myself for the heartbreak that is coming for Brooklyn and Harrison Chase. They are sitting in a room with a social worker, moving forward with the foster screening for baby Phoebe. And the social worker asks the ultimate question: are you prepared to give the baby up when the time comes? And you can just see the color drain from their faces. Brooklyn and Chase are already so deeply attached to this little girl. They stepped up when Delilah died, and they have been visiting her in the NICU every single day. How are they going to give her up? We all remember the absolute agony Brooklyn went through when she had to give Bailey Lou back to Maxie Jones. She loved that baby like her own flesh and blood. And Chase had to give Violet back to Finn, which tore him apart. These two have so much love to give, and they have been through so much trauma when it comes to children. They look at the social worker and promise that they can handle it. that they can give baby Phoebe up if her biological family is found. They are lying. They are lying to the social worker, and they are lying to themselves. If that day arrives, it is going to destroy them. I want them to be happy. I want them to adopt Phoebe and raise her in the Quartermain mansion and have a beautiful, normal life. But this is General Hospital. Nothing is ever that simple. The PCPD is actively looking for Delilah's family. They are looking for the biological father. Someone is going to come looking for this baby, and when they do, Brooklyn and Chase are going to have their hearts ripped out all over again. I am already crying just thinking about it. Why do the writers do this to us? In conclusion, I am a mess. Jason is gone. Britt is contemplating murder. Joselyn is a mobster in training. Sonny is flirting with danger. Dante is clueless. Michael is fighting his entire family. And Brooklyn is setting herself up for the ultimate heartbreak. This show is firing on all cylinders right now, and I am strapped in for the ride. I just need to know what happens tomorrow because I cannot handle the suspense. Does Britt spike the IV? Does Justine figure out the truth? I need answers.